What's going on, y'all? Got a little busy day today, but I still had to give y'all my review. So I just wanted to stop by and let you know about my thoughts of reviewing the film. So, we're going to go over these notes. I'm not going to spend too much time on the Pats this week because this is a big week. I want to talk more and more about the Niners. So we'll probably go ahead and probably do a little film review maybe, the next day. But after that, it's all Niners. We getting ready. It's a big game, biggest game of the season. But anywho, let's get straight to the content. So one thing that I noted was seeing Michael Gallup in back-to-back games come alive. One of the biggest questions that we had coming into the season to support Dak and for this offense to get going is Michael Gallup. Is Michael Gallup going to give us what we need? And so far, these past couple games, even though some of it was in garbage time last game, but no, I wouldn't say garbage time. I ain't gonna do him like that. It wasn't really garbage time, but it's good to see Michael Gallup has some of that pep in his step because we're gonna need it. If Dak is gonna go ahead and be comfortable with Michael Gallup, then we need Michael Gallup at his best, right? And none of this come to fruition unless CeeDee Lamb, Cooks, and company is out on that field. So shout out to Gallup for going ahead and coming alive these past games. Also, I wanted to point out in reviewing the film was since the season start, our playmakers have been fumbling the ball a lot lately. They need to clean that up. That's something that ain't been talked about. They need to clean that up. We just have been fortunate that we've had, tight end, McKeon, Biotish and company have enough hustle to go ahead and bail us out. But there may be times where that may happen and we ain't gonna get bailed out. So I'm gonna need us to go ahead and clean that up before that become a real issue. Because one thing's for sure, we know about fumbling up over here. DeMarco Murray couldn't handle that ball and it hurt us at times. And we don't need that to happen, especially with what we got going on here, especially with the offense need to be able to play clean. Fumbling, that needs to be corrected, and they need to be getting on their head right now. Might need to get on their head right now because that could become an issue. So I wanted to point that out. I wanted to just give a little shout out to, we don't talk about this aspect of the game, not enough, but special teams. Shout out to Falso for recognizing Bill Belichick coming at him because I did see a little bit of the game where they had blocked, I believe it was a field goal where they had a dude come from a running start and he went on ahead and blocked that. But, Bill Belichick got a little mind when it comes down to special teams. So shout out to Falso for going ahead and keeping Bill on his toes and going ahead and sneaking in an extra little point because every point in this league matters. So shout out to Falso for that. Also, we're going to go ahead and continue to have this as a point of emphasis. I looked at that play again, 50-50 balls. Our wide receivers need more of that. You brought in your wide receivers to make plays for Dak, right? And if that's going to be the case, then Dak, trust him. I'd rather it be something fugazi happen by you trying to put trust in your wide receivers to make 50-50 catches and it ain't even really 50-50 with your wide receivers. It's more like 80-20. And the 20 comes from maybe bad ball placement or something crazy happening. But because I'm taking my wide receivers to go get the ball over anybody else's DBs. And you need to trust them more. If Gallup can do it, Cooks have shown the ability to be able to make some nice catches, even though he don't have that much length as the other wide receivers. Ferguson can do it. CD can do it. You even see Tober be able to make some good little grabs, especially coming from the preseason. So you have all these players that can make contested grabs. You got a few players that can go ahead and adjust their body with the best of them in this league. It's time to go ahead and start using that. You want to go ahead and fix that red zone issues, as we noted and as we stated before. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it, I wanted to point this out. There was a time in Green Bay, I believe that Mike McCarthy was going through some injuries. And this is when they had the John Kuhn situation. And one thing that you've seen with John Kuhn is that they went on ahead and punched that ball in when it came down to the goal line. And that's exactly what we did with Hunter Lipke. And when he did that, that reminded me of what he did with John Kuhn back in Green Bay. And I believe that, look, if you went on ahead and put all these resources and not only to your wide receiving core, which is is going to help space everything out. You got tight ends that can go ahead and put pressure on the defenses, and you have an elite offensive line. There's no way that you can't just go ahead and just hand the ball off on the 5-yard line, on the 3-yard line, or anywhere in right there, or even on the 7, and go ahead and score. Because this offensive line can do just that. And when you seen that, you seen Terrence Steele and company pave a fat hole for Hunter Lipke to go ahead and score. So that is another way that you can go ahead and solve this red zone issue. There's plenty of ways that we can do it. It's just a matter of execution. There's times where we don't execute when execution should be at its premium when it come down to the red zone. 2020, stuff happens though, but in that red zone, you need execution. Now, sometimes the defenses make a play because one thing that hasn't really been noted too much is that we have been going against good defenses. The Patriots got a good defense. The Jets got a good defense. And when the Giants is not on their BS, the Giants can actually play some good defense. So with that being said, it ain't like he been going against scrubs when it come down to that end, right? And if this defense is supposed to be the best, quote unquote, that Micah and them say, then field goals should do the trick. Let's be honest, field goals should do the trick when you have the number one defense and a defense that's playing the way that it's do, the defense that can score, and also the defense that can just take away the ball. And when you got all that, then there's field goals should be able to do the trick. Let's be honest, right? A lot of our blowouts came from the defense scoring, special teams scoring. So if you got all three of your units being able to put points on the board, it doesn't matter. Let's be honest, it doesn't matter. Now, we still would love for the execution to be at a better, like, for instance, my thing is what it is like Schoolmaker. We need that type of execution. Catch that ball. Dak, give me a better ball to CD so he can go ahead and pull that down because we know he can pull that down. Things of that nature is what I'll take. Now, stuff happens, of course, but when you can clean that up, stuff that we can control, then, that's what's going to go ahead and make it better. But we got to go against some more good defenses across. So, things ain't going to just be easy, but that's just going ahead and preparing us for times like we're going to come up against this week, right? We done went against some good defenses such as the Jets in the past to be able to prepare you. So they're not going against the Niners ain't the only good defense that you see. You're going against defenses that already prepare you for the level of physicality that you must have and going against these teams. So they ready. It's just a matter of executing. Also, I wanted to go ahead and point out Ferguson. We need more Ferguson between the 20s. Ferguson is a beast. Ferguson is shifty. Ferguson definitely give you some sneaky run after the catch yards. And Ferguson definitely need to continue to be used. And I believe he's had 12 catches in 2 games, if I'm not mistaken. That's pretty good. And he's doing it against some quality competition. So just keep feeding Ferguson the ball. We already talked about Ferguson having a good year because of the wide receivers around him. And I believe that, and I still believe that wholeheartedly. Hope you got him on your fantasy teams, and he's going to continue to thrive. He should even have a decent game going against the Niners. Let's be real. Linebackers, I wanted to point that out. Just because it looked a little better, because we blew them out, doesn't mean that they really played any better. They just wasn't in a position to go ahead and having to stop the run for the whole game. And there was bits and pieces where I seen plays where it still looked the same thing. So don't go ahead and acting like the linebackers fixed whatever they had going on, because they didn't. It's still there. That poor linebacker play is still there, but we just able to make it look good. When your defense is playing the way that it did, then you able to go ahead and hide the linebackers. So we're going to go ahead and point that out. I wanted to go ahead and give another shout out to DaRon Bland. One thing that was people said that we was going to lose was playmaking, and DaRon Bland said that's not the case. DaRon Bland has been making plays since his rookie year, and he's going to continue to go ahead and come up big and make big-time plays and big-time games. DaRon Bland is a big-time player, and he's showing that, and we're thankful to have him because he's going to be big here on out. Like I said, the most important piece of your secondary right now. Yes, you may have good safeties. You may got Gilmore on the other side, but DaRon Bland is going to be the most important piece to the equation because he's somebody right now that can go ahead and do what Diggs do and take away that ball and score with it. Because DaRon Bland, I think he got a couple touchdowns on the year now. DaRon Bland has showed you the knack that he can make plays with the football in his hand and take away that football. He got beat one time when they threw the ball across the field, and the next time he went on ahead and executed on that. So that just shows you that DaRon Bland is aware, and he's going to continue to get better. And I can't wait to see him against the Niners, because that's going to be a game right there. Now, one thing that I wanted to point out was Dak Prescott. Now, I know we want Dak Prescott to create plays with his legs a lot more than what he does, but I want Dak Prescott to go ahead and learn how to throw that ball away a lot more than what he's doing. Sometimes there's sacks where I think that he don't have to take. I'd rather go ahead and be in 2nd and 10 than 2nd and 15, 2nd and 16. So Dak, learn how to throw that ball away a little bit better than what you're doing. You have enough athleticism to get away from the rush to be able to throw that ball. You got the arm strength to be able to throw that ball, and I expect you to do that a lot more because there's certain times. Now I understand there's certain sacks that we took, especially on that stunt, where you couldn't really do nothing about it. But there's times where you're able to evade that rush if it ain't there, and if you can't get none when it comes down creating your legs, throw that ball away and let's let it go ahead and fight another day. Because one thing this offense need to do is take care of the football. So if the defense is elite the way that it says do, then take care of the football. Don't put your defense in compromising positions. Let the defense to go ahead and be able to get off the field and give us more opportunities to be able to score. So Dak, I need you to do that. Also, I wanted to point out that Curse, I gave Curse a little criticism. I wanted to backtrack that. Look at Curse. Now, look, they made a couple catches on him, but Curse was in some tight coverage. Sometimes the offense just makes some good plays on you. It is what it is, though, but Curse was in some good coverage. So I got to give a shout out to Curse regarding that. y'all know sometimes I criticize him, but y'all know I clean it up if I'm wrong. So, but Curse did have some good coverage. He just made some heck of a catches. I know Hunter Henry, he made a heck of a catch, and it was good coverage. He just couldn't do nothing about it. Sometimes the offense just make plays. Like they say, they get paid to make plays too, and that's exactly what they did. But all in all, that's just what I had. Everything else, it was just blowout. It was just cleaning up the game and just getting up out of that game. That was pretty much of what I had. We get ready for these Niners because that's the most important game. That's the game that we've been talking about for months since the schedule came out, and we ready. And y'all know the intensity is going to be ramped up a whole lot more because it's just one of them games. They could say it's just another game on the schedule, but me, you, your mama, and your cousin too understand that this ain't a game that's just another game. This is the game of all the games that's going to go ahead and season define your games. But anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this content. Get me up in this algorithm. Appreciate y'all. We gone.